Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, we got live racing action from the Phoenix Raceway for the Elwood Designs Core Xfinity Series. This is race number 9 for the drivers, and the regular season starting to take a little bit of shape here. We've finally seen Clayton Montgomery leading the points for so long this season. Finally gets his win last week and promptly loses the overall standings, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. But we got a beautiful looking track out here tonight. Phoenix under the lights is just a beauty to look at. Really nice, and some updates to iRacing here, making it look even a little bit crisper here tonight. So hopefully the driving will match that as well. Carl Hamwork joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, we got some good. Kind of flat track, it's not a short track. Don't even say it. I know it's a mile. I know it's a mile. Let it go. This is not a short track, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean it's short, but it's not. It's really wide. There's tons of lines. You're gonna see drivers dipping below that yellow line here and down the around some of these corners here because it's all paved. So it's kind of tricky. It's really not quite an oval. I got a small dog leg after coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, I mean, typically a track like this, you'd call it a tri-oval, but out here in Phoenix, they called the little kink there, which is now turn 1, the dog leg. And yeah, like you mentioned, I mean, a lot of times you go to tracks and you want to avoid getting on the apron. Here, you're going to get on the apron. It is pretty much the driving line. You'll see some guys maybe trying to stay up on the track through turn 1 to maybe save their car a little bit, save some tires, save any kind of chance of damage of going down there on the apron. But I mean, you can cut the dog leg of turn 1 there all the way down to the wall on the inside there by pit lane. So we'll see what the drivers elect to do out here tonight. Same thing when it comes to driving through turn number 2. I mean, it's pretty flat, so you sometimes see the drivers kind of dipping a tire down below that yellow line just to kind of get it to have a little bit extra rotation to get around this track. So the entire thing is paved. I mean, originally when it came out, you had a lot of grass on the infield there, so you couldn't cut it. You need to stay on the track. But here, everything's paved and everything's just have at it.
Yeah, everything's have at it, and obviously they're out there getting at it right now. As it looks like Nico Garcia is on the provisional pole at the moment, so definitely going to be an interesting one here tonight. Looking forward to seeing how these drivers continue to run here and keep the season going.
We'll take a look at the season up to this point in regards to the standings, and you see the aforementioned Clayton Montgomery is now second place in the points behind Alan Elwood, his teammate, and you got Nico Garcia up there in the top 3, as this week is the first time we see the drop races come into play, and that's why the shift in the points sees Alan Elwood now at the top of the boards in the platinum and the overall. Then you got AJ Roderick doing well as well in the gold. Did not make it here last week, but he's back out there in action tonight to try and get 3 in a row for races that he's shown up to. Obviously, you can't win if you're not there, and he decided to avoid COTA, as I'm sure a lot of drivers didn't mind avoiding COTA last week for the ones that didn't show up. But got a good sized field out here tonight. It looks like we're looking at just over 25 strong here, going to take the green flag. But I mean, just it's been a fun season. It's been a little chaotic. We've seen drivers go from bronze to silver, as Justin Kirby is leading the silver division there. We've seen Joey Cruz have a heck of a run to finish in second place, and he is leading the bronze division, and actually tied with Dan Phelps there for the bronze division lead. But this is anything but over. I mean, we're only getting to the halfway point at this point. 15 races in the regular season before we break it off and go a little playoff racing. But we need to go racing here tonight. We got 90 laps on tap, and Jimmy, we got ourselves a starting order.
Yeah, we got ourselves a starting order here tonight, and we will run through that here quickly, as it looks like Nico Garcia will be on the pole here over Alan Elwood, then Shane Therian, Clayton Montgomery for your first 2 rows, and Justin Munsell and Justin Kirby for row number 3. Row number 4, Kevin Foster, AJ Roderick. Row number 5, Davey Hendricks with Jack Stoneman. Row number 6, Bronson Stafford with Tyler Skozen. Row number 7, Josh Van Weston with Tyler Bramble. Row number 8, Matt Crockett, Andrew White. Row number 9, Kenny Hines and Joseph Thomas. And then to round out the rest of the field, we have Kelly Pointer and John Nobinger out there on row number 10. Row number 11, Blake Erickson with Dan Phelps, Jeremy Gainey and Robert Kenny there on row number 12. Row number 13, John Crane with Joey Cruz and Luis Arduna out there with bringing up the rear here in that Pennzoil machine. And Carl, we talked about new lighting and new features here with iRacing, and obviously you know, it's looking good out here tonight. It's looking like it's going to be a great one. Underneath the lights, the paints are going to sparkle. You know, we've got to talk about a little bit about some of the sponsor out there with Simrat Market there within good old paint scheme. So if you're looking for good old paint, you enjoy seeing what you see out there, go look up Elwood Designs with Simrat Market, and they can get you what you need.
Yeah, especially you look fast, go fast. We talk about it all the time, and especially under the lights here, like you said, these cars just really pop, and you want to make sure they're staying nice and shiny. You got to keep it off the walls here and keep it off each other, as well as looks like the drivers are getting ready to pull away here tonight. But the drivers with Elwood Designs looking to be the class of the field here tonight. They got the first 4 spots locked up. Justin Munsell still in there as a rookie. He does have 5 races under his belt, but one of them was the race last week at COTA, and it's still yet to be determined. And he's the 5th race on the oval, which he'll get tonight, and then he will be put in. Looks to be either gold or platinum coming right out of there. So we'll see where he slots in, but we are getting ready for some racing action. Again, 90 laps here under the lights at Phoenix. This is going to be a fun one. I like this track. I look forward to it. It's a long wait till you get the green flag. It's almost kind of like Talladega. The pace car pulls off and you got to go all the way through that tri-oval. Well, here's kind of the same thing. Pace car already in pit lane, but you got to go all the way down this backstretch till you get to turn at number 3. This was originally where the start-finish line was before it was reconfigured. And now you head into turn at number 3 and get ready to see the green flag from Barney.
Green flag.
And we are racing at Phoenix Raceway.
So let a rotator trip as they go down too wide, down around the corners here, making it interesting so far. And it does look like Nico Garcia is going to sneak out to that early lead. Oh, and the caution is out as it's spinning in the back.
Looks like it might involve Dan Phelps there at the back. We'll take a look and see how that happened, as we don't even get a full green flag lap in here before we get a caution. And it looks like just kind of self-imposed, gets a little bit loose. There's some cold tires, clipped a little bit there by the 11 of John Crane. Looked like too much damage to the 85. We're going to take a look at the 11 here, and really look like too much damage there on the 11 from the Skycam here. So hopefully both drivers are going to get away with this one. But early caution here, and it's funny that iRacing had some updates to some of the vehicles, more on the road side, on the GTPs, LMP2s, to make the cold new tires a lot tougher to deal with. Apparently already the Xfinity cars are still dealing with some cold tires, but there hasn't been too many night races here on the schedule so far, and it makes those tires obviously extra cooler, and it's harder to get them up to temperature that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think these cars were affected by the tire change, but with the with the night and the cooler track temps, it does take a little bit for them tires to get warmed up. And these drivers obviously bunched up. They want to try to get as many positions as possible because it's the easiest time usually. But if you're fast, you should have finished up a little bit farther to find yourself in that situation. But it looks like we have a 70 degrees outside, and what is that, 78 degrees?
70 degrees. Yeah, 72 for the track temperature.
Yeah. So definitely an interesting one here tonight as we continue to get this thing going and under green. And if you're out there watching, whatever, just trying to just put on a good show. So just trying to see what, how these cars look, how they're going to run, how these drivers are going to do. We're going to keep it up to date throughout the night here for all the laps. I don't have a lap counter on me. Why is my HUD's done? There it is.
There we go.
There it is.
Get it going here
Not
for you.
4 of 90.
Yeah, still obviously plenty of racing to go here, and it'll be interesting to see how the pit strategies fall into place here tonight. But we have the pace car lights out once again, and it's going to be in control here by Nico Garcia at the front. He had a good start on the initial start of the race. Still looking to grab his second win of the season, as EDE has been dominating a lot of these races. James Hewley won the opener, Nico Garcia won the second race, then Alan Elwood won back-to-back before Brandon Mettler stopped the three-peat at Iowa, and then AJ Roderick winning back-to-back late in Montgomery last week. So a few drivers in the EDE camp looking to grab their second win of the season. Nico Garcia is one of them. The points leader, Alan Elwood, on the outside, would certainly love to gap him a little bit more and really kind of put a stamp on the season. But we are back to racing here at Phoenix Raceway. You see him diving down to the bottom on that apron, way below the actual track surface. Just I've been here so many times, and I've driven on it so many times. I've broadcast this so many times. It's still funny to see them drop all the way down. I mean, 6-7 car lengths off of the track.
Yeah, it feels weird when you're out there too. To be honest. Oh, another spin. Munson goes around.
And we got some more involved as well right behind him.
Rocket, it looks like.
Looks like for the most part, fortunately Arduino there was trying to go below Foster, who was off the track and gets involved in it. I think for the most part it was a lot of just spinning. But I seen it was about a 3-4 wide there with Munsell. And I think that's right where all the action ended up starting. We'll take a look back and see what brought this one out, as we're still looking to try and get our first lap here under green.
These drivers struggling here with them cold tires, and just a little bit of tap there by Kevin Foster on Justin Munsell. Going to send him around there. And then obviously with the checkup, just according to our driver's best friend out here on ovals.
Oh, big impact there from the 3 and the 03 there of Andrew White, and then it looked like, I think that was Joe Thomas getting involved pretty heavily. You see him right there on the inside. Thomas's hood wrinkled up, so I did miss the big impacts there. So there were some cars that certainly got wrecked up into this one, as we had quite a few, and pretty much the back half of the field coming into the pits this time by. A lot of them licking their wounds, and a lot of them maybe even having to use the fast repairs. I mean, probably at least 2 or 3 cars there needing to use those fast repairs early, not even here on lap number 10. And that was just a little bit maybe aggressive there by the 8 of Foster, trying to get in there underneath Munsell into to turn number 3, and just a little bit of a bump sends him around, and it was kind of towards the front of the field. So it's tough when it's again, when it's this early. You're ready to go, you're licking your chops, you're trying to get some quick passes done if you can, and then all of a sudden there's 2 or 3 cars spinning in front of you. So it's tough to make the right decisions sometimes. But Nico Garcia is still going to be your leader. Alan Elwood, Shane Therian, Clayton Montgomery, Kevin Foster for the top 5. Then you got Stafford, Skozen, Hines, Erickson, and Nobinger for your top 10, as we'll double them up here one more time, see if we can get one green flag lap in here before we get anything other craziness going here.
Yeah, a lot of craziness going on out here as it continues to work around here. But getting ready to go back to green as they're doubling back up.
Nico Garcia got to control it once again. You see him get a pretty good jump there on the start, and then he went to the outside of turn number 2. We'll see if he decides to do that again, because Elwood went to the inside and seemed like he had maybe a better run before Nico Garcia got the run out of the corner. But we're going to double him up again. As we said, we're going to get ready to send him off one more time with the track back up here and show you this beautiful 1.01 mile track. It's over a mile, so it is not a short track, but it can certainly drive like a short track at times with how flat it is out here. And they head to the flattest part of the track down there on the apron as Nico Garcia blinks out there for a second, but back in there and back into the lead and back to the outside of turn number 2. So maybe that's the line he prefers out there. Elwood all the way to the inside. You see him right there. Nico Garcia getting a good run out of the corner once again.
Very good run there for Nico Garcia.
And Jimmy, we've officially completed a lap under green flag conditions. So hopefully these boys have kind of shaken out the cobwebs now when we get going. I mean, I know we're coming from Coda last week, and it was a lot of rough and tumble racing out there from the track, not from the drivers. So maybe they're just kind of need to get back into the swing of things of some oval racing here and see everything shakes out. But this is a track where, I mean, you can see a lot of different lines out here. Even though this track is kind of flat, it's not just bottom line dependent. You can run this thing pretty much wherever you want.
Yeah, you can run it wherever you want. Obviously tires are going to play a big factor in where they're at the moment. So right now they are, for the most part, so nice and should be a nice and clean running as drivers will continue to make those moves. But it's really hard to block on this track as there's plenty of lines. Just all about and Kirby and the 67 get together just a little bit. Sends Kirby up the track, but he saves it. The 67 continues to go forward.
A good save there by Kirby as we see some more battle back here in the back of the pack. This is the battle for 16th and 17th. Bramble on the inside. You see Munsell back there, started up towards the front. He started up there in 5th position, trying to work his way back up through. Currently sitting behind the 39 of Bramble, trying to figure out which one of these lines is going to get going. Seems like Bramble gets the edge going into the corner, and then Crane gets the edge coming out. Now it looks like Munsell going to go to the high side and try and work his way around Bramble. It seems like the high side, middle, whatever you want to consider it here, especially through turn number 2, seems to be the preferred line. A little bit faster line, maybe a little bit too fast there for Jack Stoneman, getting into the wall back there. But out front, we've got a new leader, and it is Shane Thurian out in front. Nico Garcia trying to battle on the outsides. They're starting to come up on some lap traffic here as they're coming up on, looks like Jeremy Gainey and Joey Cruz at the back of this pack. Take you back and show you how the pass was made here for the lead. As Shane Thurian got to the inside here in turn number 3. Garcia washed up just a little bit, and then you see the ending of that pass as both Thurian and Garcia went down to the bottom, but Thurian was able to get the pass completed, and now back out live as Cruz into the wall hard, trying to keep it up and out of everybody. Green flag is gonna stay out. And that 028 is certainly hurting right now, trying to keep it up out of everybody's way. Doing so far. We'll see if he can get down to the bottom. You see, yep, there we go. Dives it down to the bottom and off the track. He's going to have to bring that in for sure. Get some repairs done. But starting to stretch out here a little bit more single file now at the front. Shane Thurian in the lead. Nico Garcia, Alan Elwood, Clayton Montgomery, Tyler Skozen now for your top 5. Then you got Foster, Stafford, Hines, Erickson, and Kenny for the top 10. As some battling back here at the back half of the top 10. Erickson on at the inside. Looks like it's going to straighten out now. Erickson in 9th, Kenny up there in 10th. And for anyone looking for a car, I did see that there is a for sale sign on the side of that 034. Notice it in practice, and we'll try and take a better look here and show you. You see right in front of the 34 there is indeed a for sale sign. So I mean, it's a top 10 car, at least here in Phoenix. So you're getting a good price for it. Hopefully it'll pay off for you here. But he is certainly in the thick of it right here. Back half of the top 10, you got a big moment there for Van Westen into the wall. And then they're going to go 3 wide as Kirby sends it on the inside. And somehow, I think they're going to save this here. But it has been a bit rough here. And certainly Kirby has had one heck of a race here once again, getting the door shut on him right there. Van Westen trying to get that thing back under control, and he's going to lose another position as Munsell gets up here in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Kirby seeing the opportunity, Van Weston was able to hold on to it, got some good runs. So, it's probably best that Justin kind of lean back just a little bit, let the race keep continuing to develop, and if he's faster, he'll get him around him. But he's going to take him on the high side this time, so not a problem for Justin Kirby. Just got to fight his way through it, as he's been doing a pretty good job getting some decent results here as he continues to work his way through the season.
Yeah, got the bump up from bronze to silver where he deserved to be, and probably could even be a gold division driver the way he can handle the car, but it needs to have the circumstances finally work for him as he makes a move down here to the inside of Nominger. As we're watching also right now, right in front of him, he had a good battle with Nominger, made the passes. He's up now to 12th, trying to again work his way back up through the field after getting involved in the early incident here. But at the front of the field, it is still the 09 of Shane Therian. He's got Nico Garcia, Alan Elwood right behind him. Clayton Montgomery not too far behind as well. Top 5 separated by 2.7 seconds as Tyler Skozen is right there in 5th. But he's got a little bit of company as Bronson Stafford has reeled in the 55 and could have a battle for the top 5 going here very soon.
Yeah, right now, Platinum drivers doing their thing out front there with Therian, Garcia, Elwood, Montgomery running 1, 2, 3, 4. And Skozen for your gold driver up there, and P number 5, and Kieran Hines sneaking in there, and P number 8.
Yeah, this to me, Jimmy, maybe it doesn't surprise me the way this thing is shaping up, as you get the platinum drivers at the front, then the gold, then the silver, then the bronze, because. Again, it's not a short track per se, but it's kind of a driver's track. You need to kind of really work the throttle. You need to know how to let the car roll through the corners. You need to be a driver out here. You need to be an experienced driver, and that's why I think you're seeing the divisions kind of playing out the way they should be here tonight.
Yeah, it's a little more of a technical track. You have to lift, you have to drive, you have to coast, you have to hit that apex, and you work that throttle so your car doesn't go off into the wall. So just another challenge here tonight for these drivers, and just trying to get things working the right way, I guess. But right now they got a nice little green flag run going here around that 25 or 90, so this thing's clicking away as soon as they got that thing to go to green. So hopefully that's the last we'll see. And we're going to talk a little bit about pit stops, Carl. What do you think about tonight and how their strategy goes, and how do you approach coming in here tonight?
Well, I mean, this track is a flatter track. I mean, there's not that much banking to be seen here. And the one time you do have banking, kind of right here in turn number 1, a lot of times you're not taking it. You're diving down there on the bottom on that flat spot, so you're really, really working those right side tires. I mean, it all depends on how this thing is going to play out. We had a couple quick cautions that we didn't even have a couple guys going to the wall there. As both Judd Nominger and Blake Erickson into the wall there. But yeah, it seems like, knock on wood, we got a little green flag run here, and it's so tough when you have those quick early cautions there to get the mindset of, okay, well, we can have it green all the way the rest of the way, because you kind of have that in the back of the mind that, well, that was pretty quick, and if somebody comes in for fresh tires, they could lose it and bring out a caution. But you have to play it how you feel the race is going to come out, and to me, it's long enough a race. You probably take it 4 tires on that first stop. Maybe, depending on how deep you are in the run on that second pit stop, maybe you venture out and try and take 2 tires to try and really help that car rotate around. But it seems like the handling is not really necessarily the issue here tonight. These guys are able to pretty much stick it wherever they want. I think the cool tires, or the cool track temperatures, are certainly playing a part in that. So, sometimes you think the 2 tires would play off in your benefit and help you rotate around, but they can help you rotate around just a little bit too much and rotate right around in a circle.
Yeah, it's it is about playing with the brake bias a little bit. It's one of the few things that drivers have control over, and it does help you rotate, and it really depends on your driving style and what you have it set at. So, another tag there by the wall by Munson. So we see Munson out front, work his way up towards the front there. He worked. It was last week at Coda. He was working his way through the field and just fell short because he had some really good speed. But here, just finding himself just at that point here, just find himself mid-pack right now, trying to get up in that top 5.
Yeah, Munsell looked like he had the race won last week. Was running in the lead for quite some time, but then it was Clayton Montgomery with the late charge at him, and Montgomery got the win last week, and Munsell had to be moved back to position. But here started in 5th place, so maybe back-to-back good runs for the 098. But early issues here set him towards the back of the pack. But good job running back up through the field here, already up in 8th place. Did see a few takers, or actually one taker, Bronson Stafford, in the pits already from the top 5. So the 61 into the pits, and maybe our first pit stop here tonight as Munsell now goes to the inside of Foster, the battle for 7th and 8th position. And right now it's still pretty close up at the front, and you see our top 4 still covered by 1.2 seconds as Therian, Garcia, Elwood, and Montgomery all right there on your screen. You see a pretty sizable gap, 2.6 seconds back to Skozen for the final spot in the top 5.
Yeah, so starting to spread out just a little bit, but still some good battles around the track.
Look back at the battle here. Foster still trying to hold off Munsell as much as he can, but gonna lose the battle here and fall back into 8th position. Maybe Hendricks trying to get up here and get in the mix as well, and try and run down some of his teammates that are at the front of the field right now. As on the outside, that is the 85 of Dan Phelps, already down a lap, and maybe looking for a caution to get back on the lead lap with the lucky dog. Get himself into the pits and kind of rework this thing. He was caught up in one of the incidents early on as well. But we've been leaning green for a nice little run here, but not without the guys banging that backstretch wall. We've seen Kevin Foster there get into the wall, but it doesn't seem like the wall is fighting back too hard. Doesn't seem like it's damaging these cars too much, but you flirt with that little mistress one too many times and she's going to get you. So it's so tough because it flattens out just a little bit coming off those corners, and you feel like you have such a good run, and all of a sudden it's almost like you're driving straight towards that wall. You're going around the corner, and all of a sudden that wall is just right there. So I can't necessarily blame these drivers because I've been there before.
Yeah, and the wall is much as sometimes it's great to get up there, get that run on the outside and hold your own, but you touch that wall, it's like a handbrake, Carl. It like drags on the side, and it's like somebody, like you're running by and somebody just pulled your hair.
Well, pulling into the pits is going to be the 09 of Shane Therian. So our leader now into the pits, going to hand over the lead back to Nico Garcia. And I know we joked a while back with all his teammates running one paint scheme, and he was the black sheep of the family, the EDE family. I gotta say, I think he's got the sexiest paint on the car here tonight, as those colors are certainly popping here under the lights. But he's gonna pop himself into the pits here. Second leader now into the pits. Alan Elwood, now your new leader. He's got Clayton Montgomery right behind him. Tyler Skozen, another 3 seconds back, waiting for some more of these drivers to come into the pits. But our early leaders here, not sure if they're trying to split this thing up here, or if they're at the end of their fuel run because they were out there pushing all this air from everybody else. But Elwood and Montgomery are going to stay out for another lap this time by, as this place does have a quite long pit road all the way from turn number 2 all the way until you pretty much get to the start-finish line here is when it finally opens back up. And it's also where it can get a little hairy because you see the drivers cutting down there. You're actually cutting down across the pit exit sometimes, so you really got to be careful and worry about the drivers coming into or out of the pits when you're cutting down there. But new race leader Clayton Montgomery is now going to take the lead as Elwood slipped up there a little bit. So the 7 back out to the lead. These are your top 2 in points right now, the top 2 on the track.
Yeah, Clayton Montgomery getting his first win of the season after being the points leader, and obviously, like I said, I'm hoping that was not the peak of his season, but it seems like he's going to continue the march here. He's looking to walk away and obviously do something better and continue that gap here that he has over the field. But right now, Clayton Montgomery out front over Alan Elwood. Now just got to figure out, you know, what these other drivers are going to do. The ones that have pitted, you know, what's the pit strategy going through? Because there seems to be a lot of drivers that are still staying out there, Carl.
Yeah, a lot of different strategies here, and maybe some of these drivers are trying to stretch this out and make it a one pit stop race. I mean, we're on lap number 41 right now, so not too far from the halfway point, but you wonder how much are those caution laps playing into, you know, into the part two, as Kenny Hines now leaves from the top 5 and comes into pit lane. I mean, you can't just get to lap 45 with all those caution laps. You're going to have to get to, you know, lap 48, 49, maybe even closer to 50 if you're actually going to split this thing in half and only take one pit stop. It's an option, but, you know, you wonder with these drivers that are going for the 2 pit stop strategy, how much are those tires going to help them out? And, you know, can they overcome that extra pit stop to get them back up into the mixes? Now Tyler Skozen leaves from the top 5 and he enters pit lane as well, but Montgomery, Elwood still chugging along out there. Munsell and Hendricks did come in early on in the race when they got involved in the incidents and came in on lap number 6, so they maybe have a little bit more fuel that they can stretch this thing out. Foster, Kenny have yet to come into the pits, but here comes your leader. Clayton Montgomery comes into pit lane, but Alan Elwood decides to stay out for another one.
Alan Elwood staying out for another one, continuing to try to get some of those laps out there, maybe stretching it, maybe looking at his fuel strategy, but it looks like that's just him cutting down across the track. So got to be careful with those drivers coming down the track. It's going to be a hard one, obviously, looking for that call, but staying down towards the bottom here, maybe coming in this time by.
Yeah, indeed, the 5 is going to come into the pits here, locking it up, getting in there, down to pit road speed. Justin Munsell is now going to be your new race leader. He led a ton of laps last week at Coda. Unfortunately, came up short, and now he's got Nico Garcia right behind him. Nico is a lap down, looking to get his lap back here with those fresh tires, and he is going to do so on the inside here of the 098. Again, Munsell, one of those drivers that pit on lap number 6, and really the top 11 drivers right now, not including Alan Elwood, all pit on lap number 6, so they have a little bit longer to run out there. But Davey Hendricks is going to leave the track and come into the pits, but we do have a car sideways. Luis Orduna is going to bring out the caution. This could be a timely caution for some of these drivers that stayed out. This is going to be pretty big here. I know a lot of the drivers are going to have taken a wave around to get back on the lead lap, but all the drivers that stayed out, nice little free pit stop, and especially for your leader, Justin Munsell. I guess the only question now is, Jimmy, do you have enough to get back around and make it into the pits? And it looks like a lot of these drivers do not. They're already in pit lane. I don't think the pace car has come out and picked up the field yet, so I'm not sure if pit lane was actually open or not.
Well, it's a case where, you know, if you don't have the fuel, you gotta come in. You just gotta eat that penalty. You know, and it's gonna be a hold. You know, so you know, whether it's the back of the field, and obviously they find themselves in a pretty good spot. You know, it's really on. The thing is, Nico Garcia got his lap back, and he's already been in. So there's a lot of cars that are laps down, Carl, and that are probably might not get their lap back. It looked like Clayton Montgomery was the lucky dog at the time. So, you know, where do people sit? But yeah, some drivers coming down, grabbing fuel, and coming back out, and yeah, we really gotta. It's hard to tell whether those drivers got any penalties. Matter of fact, I don't know if it's going to be quick enough. I got a little tool here that tells on people whether they got black flags or not. I'm going to pull it up real quick.
I do see.
I don't see anything.
I do see Munsell dropping towards the back here, so not sure what's happening here. If he just has a penalty here or not. But let's take a look back and see what brought out this caution as the 73 goes into turn number 3. And you see that back end already sideways, already stepping out, and just loops it right around, backs it into the wall. Nobody else getting involved, but it did bring out our caution here, and we'll take it back live, and you see quite a few drivers are going to be taking that wave around to get back onto the lead lap, and going to rejoin everything back up here. Shane Therian appears that he is going to end up with the race lead after this is all said and done. Bronson Stafford in second. Nico Garcia, Davey Hendricks, Justin Kirby for your top 5. Then you got Kelly Pointer, AJ Roderick, Andrew White, Tyler Bramble, and Jack Stoneman for your top 10. So the caution shaking things up here quite a bit. And now I think the question is, do we have enough time for these drivers to catch back up? Looks like they should be able to just about catch back up here in time to the back of the field, as we had quite a bit of wave around cars. So they'll be back there at full speed. And we are back to racing here at Phoenix Raceway. And I will say, Jimmy, I think this may be a situation here where if anybody has a passing on the yellow, we may need to consider clearing it because the field wasn't fully caught back up. But Shane Therian back out into the lead here. Nico Garcia back in second. So it's like nothing has really changed. Problem is, they got some older tires compared to everybody else. They got about 10 lap older tires than a lot of the rest of this field here. And how much is that going to play a part? As it looked like, not sure if Jack Stone was back into the wall there, but we got a lot of battling up here through the field. Side by side, back here in 10th position. A gaggle of cars up here, still side by side from, looks like about 4th on back, as Stafford on the inside trying to hold these drivers up, but he pit on lap number 30. He's getting eaten up by these fresh new tires here as they're starting to work their way up through the field. Davey Hendricks and Kelly Pointer working their way up through, and you see how quickly they are doing so, already to the inside here of Nico Garcia. There's the battle now for second place. Therian trying to stretch his lead out here, but I feel that if we don't have a caution or anything to slow this charge up, these drivers with the fresh tires are going to come up right for him next.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, obviously the drivers also get excited, with the new tires. They'll burn them right up, Carl, within 5 laps, and then you're going to see huge fall-offs. So these drivers that do have the fresher tires, they do have to take their time. They do have to be a little bit patient. You can't get too excited that their car is so much faster than everybody else's, where they're going to die, well, not die, but not hit the wall or basically put her out where they're in a stalemate, and that basically the tires will plateau and they'll be equal to what the drivers are on out there. So if Therian can keep his cool, keep a nice calm mind, he should be fine. Hendricks obviously moving through the field here, one of the gold drivers, Kelly Pointer, and that battle looking down to the inside, maybe trying to take P number 2. So yeah, a lot of movement going around up here right now. AJ Roderick up there, and P number 4, and then Nico Garcia back there in P number 5.
Yeah, and that's the driver I was going to highlight next is AJ Roderick, looking for another win here. Yeah, again, he wasn't here last week, so technically trying to go for back-to-back wins here. And he didn't have to pit under green, Jimmy. He pit under caution. He got the caution that he absolutely needed, was looking for. It paid off very nicely. Maybe he paid off Luis Orduna for that caution, whatever it was. He didn't have to pit under green flag conditions. So he finds himself now up in the top 5, and once again back up in a mix for maybe a podium, maybe another win, as they're side by side for second. This is exactly what Therian wants to see in his mirrors. These drivers doing battle right behind him. Hendricks on the outside, Pointer on the inside. But even though they're doing battle and they're reeling in at that 9, and they're right on his back bumper right now, and could potentially be 3 wide any minute.
Yeah, potentially 3 wide, and right now they're just battling here, and you can see they're slowly catching up there to Shane Therian, and as Kelly Pointer is going to continue to battle with Hendricks for P number 2, but looking down to make it this run and maybe get that bumper underneath of Therian to go for the lead. So move Kelly Pointer into P number 2. Now it looks like to be P number 1 if he can get this run completed.
New leader out front is the 75 of Kelly Pointer. Therian doing all he can on the outside, but it's going to be all for naught, as his fresher tires by 10 laps of Kelly Pointer are going to get him to the lead. And you see right there, Davey Hendricks now working to the inside, looking to move himself up into second place as well. So he did a pretty good job checking out as much as he could and using those slightly older tires to try and hold on the lead. But it is now gone. He's back to 3rd. He's got another teammate behind him, and AJ Roderick, that could be looking to make a move here pretty soon as well. Looking a little further back, you got Nico Garcia in 5th. Justin Kirby, Jack Stoneman, Josh Van Westen, Clayton Montgomery, and Tyler Bramble for your top 10. As Montgomery may be looking for a move here on Van Westen heading into 3 down on the inside. But it's been a nice little green flag run before we had the caution, and hopefully we'll go on another one here and really start to see, kind of how these differing tire strategies play out. I mean, we've seen early on, Alan Elwood was one of the top 4 in this race, and from the beginning all the way until this last caution. Now he's got somewhat newer tires. He's got roughly the same type of tires that everyone else does here, but he's back here in 14th, and it just seems like he's kind of hanging out here. Maybe he's waiting for these tires to just kind of level out with everybody else, and then he can try and make his move up front. But he's got Tyler Skosen behind him as well, and Tyler was another one that was up there in the top 5. So our top 5 early on is definitely shaken up here, and now Justin Munsell in the pit lane here, and this is a little concerning here, unless this is his last pit stop of the race, which it very well could be. Taking some tires, but you've seen Munsell before the caution came out, he was your leader, but then not sure if it was a penalty that sent him to the back or what the case was, but he's in here making what should be his final pit stop.
Yeah, final pit stop there for Justin Munsell, more than likely, and it might just be pit strategy, just kind of get in there and get it done, and just get it over with. He's currently 1 lap down, so he's going to have to get it back the hard way here, and obviously fight with Crockett and Cream in order to get that lucky dog spot if he finds him in that position, and maybe just playing to the point to maybe not having a caution the rest of the way. But this has been a little tricky track for some of these drivers, especially early on, and then right before everybody got the pit, they had that spinner on. So we'll see if that plays out for Munson this week.
New leader out front, it is Davey Hendricks battling with Kelly Pointer, and you see them still battling for the lead, but Hendricks is gonna get the pass completed here on lap number 63. Finally completes the pass and gets on in front, but a little crossover here from Pointer. Maybe not done just yet, as he's gonna peek to the inside here going into turn number 3. Still side by side. This isn't helping either guy's case here to try and stretch out and really utilize these newer tires. But they'll go side by side, just trading it back and forth here. I think Hendricks is going to have enough of a run, and that's not going to matter. We've got another caution on the track, and this one looks like it might involve Bronson Stafford, one of the drivers that, again, was a top 10 driver early on in this race, and I believe even in the top 5. You see him right there just in front of our leaders getting back going again. But it's going to shake everything up, and more likely than not is going to be the chance for everyone to make their last pit stop, and this is not what Justin Munsell wanted to see at all. He is back there 1 lap down. He's going to probably have to take the wave around and hope for another caution so he can take his final pit stop, or take another pit stop to get some tires. But here's how the caution came out. You see the 61 just get loose there on the bottom out of turn number 2, and there's really not much you can do when it just kind of steps out on you late coming out of the corners. But we're going to be under caution here once again.
Yeah, just a little too much throttle coming out of the corner. It's going to send that rear around, lighten it up, and it is pretty easy to do that. One of the spots is pretty tricky. I did get a chance to go out there and run some laps. I wasn't running the speeds that the leaders are running, but definitely somewhere in the mid-pack range as far as my lap times go. So, and I feel okay about that, Carl, considering I don't drive ovals very much or at all anymore.
Take a look and see how the race on pit road is done. Not sure why. There we go. Wasn't picking up John Crane for a second there. It looks like he is going to be your lucky dog candidate, and he's going to come into pit lane this time. You got Justin Munsell, Bronson Stafford are going to stay out there and get the wave around. So they're going to be back on the lead lap, but they're going to be buried in the back of the pack and with older tires as well. So they're certainly going to want another caution here to try and come in and kind of get back on the same page as everybody else. But it looks like it's going to be Jack Stoneman that is out in front. A few drivers electing to not take tires, maybe only take 2 tires. It's shaking things up again as we got Stoneman. And how about man in second? Did not have to pit under green again, Jimmy. It's a formula for success for that 5016.
Well, the 56 has definitely had their fair share of issues with green flag pit stops, and you know, we tease him a little bit. He's gotten a few wins this season, and obviously back to back, skipping out on Coda. I don't know who would do a thing like that. That track was so beautiful and so easy to drive. I mean, it's like a driver's dream to go out there and be able to do rights and lefts in these cars.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can hear you laughing before you're laughing. Yeah, I mean you're trying your best to polish a turd. It's okay, I get it. But,
hate that track.
well, the pace car is off. We got a brand new top 10 once again. We got Jack Stoneman. This is gonna be your control car on the inside. AJ Roderick, Andrew White, Davey Hendricks, Shane Thiering for the top 5. We got Pointer, Garcia back up into with the top 10. Kirby, Van Westen, Clayton Montgomery rounding out your top 10. We got 22 guys left on the lead lap at this point, so a lot of drivers still in the mix of this thing. Good start on the inside there from Stoneman, and we are back to racing as clock is starting to tick down here. We only got 23 laps to go. But we have quite a big one here as the 03 of Andrew White looked like he was one of the first ones involved in this one and ended up jumping to the pits. We'll take a look and see what exactly happened here. And 3 wide action. Oh, the 88 comes up. A little netcode clipping the 43 of Justin Kirby, of course, getting some more bad news there. And then the 88 coming down into the 121 of Van Westen also. But, I mean, just Andrew White, unfortunately, getting a raw deal there, as did Justin Kirby. Finally back up in the mix there, and a few others may have gotten involved. Yeah, it looks like Matt Crockett and Joe Thomas also getting involved in this one. Going to bring us under another caution. It's timely. It's timely for a couple of these drivers, like we said with Munsell, being able to get that wave around, and now he can get some fresh tires if he wants to.
Yeah, just the nature of the beast of this track. Obviously, some of the drivers, they obviously, it's like good and bad. It's down there, the opportunity to maybe get a spot, and when cars go so far inside, Carl, your spotter, your virtual spotter, if they're not real close, doesn't even tell you they're there until the last minute when those cars are coming up and drafting up the track. So it's definitely a challenge for these drivers, and it's always very tempting to go down there, and it doesn't always seem to work out. As obviously you've seen the cars come up there and a little bit of netcode, driving some cars, and making incidents happen. But the drivers really do need to just be a little patient. Just a little patient. I hate tracks where you can go off track and go down there, but I mean, they do it in NASCAR. Yep. I mean, you watch it. If you watch them go to some of these tracks that have that opportunity, they go down there.
Yeah, and I know some leagues and some places, have different rules instituted where you can't go below the yellow line for a lap or 2 or 3. But I mean, I think there's enough talent in this league here that we don't need to have any kind of rules like that. And I think that right there, it was close to the 88 kind of straightening out there right before the netcode contact with the 43. So maybe it could have been ultimately avoided anyway had there not been any netcode. But it sucks. It sucks when it's a late caution like that, when you have some of the key players making their way back up to the front. But we're getting ready for another restart here. We got 20 laps to go right now. There'll be 19 at the line, and it is once again Jack Stoneman here at the front, AJ Roderick on the outside. Then you got Hendricks and Pointer in at row number 2. Therian back up to 5th place. We got some more cars that are back on the lead lap, up to 21 cars now. And we'll see how this thing is going to play out for the final 20 laps of the race. But once again,
it's not over.
Not even close.
Some of these drivers are hungry for their first win. You got Jack Bowman up there, you got Hendricks, you got Pointer, you got a lot of drivers that are in a spot to possibly, you know, win this thing. And they're wrecking here early as they start.
Got another one here, and 88 involved in this one for sure. They're still wrecking. You see down there into turn number 2. Looked like the 88 was definitely in the middle of this one as well. Try and take a look back and see what officially brought this one out, but a lot of drivers caught up in this one again.
That word I used earlier, patient.
Looked like maybe a missed shift there by the 75 is actually what bottled everything up. Take a look at that one more time in slow-mo, and you can see everything seemed like it was going along fine, and then just seeing the 75 right there, you see him already dropping back. Looks like a missed shift by Pointer. 34 into the 88.
55
collects the
7. 88 down to 7.
Elwood just slips by.
No Bringer just missed Bramble. 3 trying to thread the needle. 61 going down towards the pits.
Skosing that's spun sideways there.
That's going to bring him down to 39, down on the 44. Tapping the 8.
Yeah, Foster tried to go down to the bottom to avoid it, but wasn't down far enough.
So late caution stirring things up yet again for these drivers. Trying to get things done. Coming down to a close here, but I always want to give a shout out to all the fans out there, Sierra Nation over there on YouTube. I am live on YouTube, or not YouTube, on Twitch, just to see if we could pick up a couple more viewers. So anybody that's out there, appreciate you stopping by here for Sierra Live with Core Xfinity. And basically, we are based out of YouTube. I'm just trying to grab anybody we can for the community to make this just a better place to be. But right now, it is Jack Stoneman out front with AJ Roderick, Davey Hendricks, Shane Theory, and Alan Elwood for your top 5. And you have Kelly Pointer, Kenny Hines, Blake Erickson, John Nobringer, and Justin Munsell finds himself in the top 10.
Yeah, so Munsell's just yo-yo race here at Phoenix continues as he started in 5th, went way back to the back, worked his way up to the front. Then he kind of was off pit strategy here a little bit, went down a lap and a half almost, and now he's back on the lead lap, back inside the top 10. Never know what can happen at this point, but we are still far from this thing being done. I know it's going to be 15 laps at the line, and 15 laps will go pretty quick here at Phoenix. But if it's anything like the last 15 laps, it's going to get a little crazy. It's going to get a little hairy. Hopefully, everybody used the clutch the correct way this time, and we get this thing back under the green. No missed shifts as Jack Stoneman going to be your control car once again. Back to the Geico restart zone. And we are racing again here at the Phoenix Raceway. Looks like a better start this time from the field. The 25 races off, trying to get away as fast as he can. Side-by-side battle as Hendricks is going to go to the inside of Roderick. And how about Elwood? 3 wide for 2nd place. Elwood's not going to be able to get the grip off the corner. Looks like Roderick is going to get the run. Dives down to the inside. We've got a new leader here at Phoenix. It's the 56 of AJ Roderick. We've got another caution back in the pack, trying to see who this one involved. I think the 43, unfortunately, may have been involved in this one again. But right at the right time for AJ Roderick. Take a look at this one more time here. And Skozen just to the inside there. And the 43 maybe getting a late call there. He had a car to the inside. Gets spun around. Luckily, Jeremy Gainey there sneaking on by. And really not too bad there for the 43. Going to lose a lot of time and a lot of positions here, I believe, as well. But no damage to it, and no damage to really anybody else's. We'll get this thing back under caution once again. And I'm sure there's no person that's loving this anymore than our current leader, as AJ Roderick looking to sneak another one away here. He's got the lead. and it's going to be down to about 10 laps to go, maybe a little bit less when we get this thing under the green flag here once again, as Jeremy Guinea getting a lap back here. We got 21 guys that are going to be on the lead lap. Looks like I believe Robert Kenny should be back on the lead lap here. I think the SCH needs to catch back up here, but Jimmy, it's been a bit crazy out here in the desert under the lights here tonight.
Yeah, definitely a bit crazy, and like I said, the drivers are hungry, and they feel that grip. They see that opportunity. They got the momentum. They go for it, and it's it's just patience. If you get down underneath the car, the car above you doesn't necessarily need to leave you up, and that's what I think a lot of drivers forget, and they try to force themselves up. And if they're in the back half of a car, you end up pit maneuvering and end up turning somebody around. So it is on the driver, if they're in that back quarter of the car or the back half, if they're below, to keep that car down. Obviously they can slide up a little bit, but they can't. They have to control that car. That guy on the outside does not need to move over and let you up. You're going to have to let up. So that momentum that you got from going down off that or below that yellow line is just not what you want to see. But back going green, pace car is in, and AJ Roderick on the loud pedal.
Not checking the whole backstretch that they got to wait for until they get back in. That's the old start finish line.
I'm on the front stretch. I'm ready to go. Let's get this thing done.
It is going to be in control by the 56. It'll be 11 to go here at the line, heading back to the Geico restart zone one more time. And Roderick back on the loud pedal, and we're racing again here at Phoenix. A good restart here on the inside. Stoneman is going to get to the inside of Hendricks, but it seems like that outside line is pretty handy on these restarts, trying to get a good run out of the corner. We'll see who gets the better drag race down onto the backstretch, and it's going to be Hendricks as Elwood into the wall. And you see right there Therian looking for some kind of room anywhere. Just somebody move and let me get by here, as Therian looking to get up there and battle with his teammates. But out front, it is AJ Roderick looking to keep the EDE team flag flying here. 10 laps to go. I don't think this is anywhere close to being done, as we got some more battle in here in the back, as you got Pointer on the outside, almost gets into the wall. Looks like Stafford, Erickson back there almost gets in the wall as well, but somehow Pointer almost gets in the wall, and now almost going to make a pass here on Stoneman. It's been that crazy, but man, you look at the gaggle back here, 3, almost 4 wide. Racing back here, you see Clayton Montgomery stuck way in the back here in 13th position, trying to find a way around, but I mean, there's just nowhere to go. You take a look on board here. There's so much action in front of him. I mean, this track is nice and wide as he dives to the inside here to try and make it 3 wide, and Munsell gets pushed all the way to the outside, 4 wide. I don't know how they saved it through there, but somehow they did. I count this track is about 16 cars wide right there, and still 3 wide racing. This is too much, Jerry. This is coming down to the end here. It is go time, I would say.
Yeah, 3 wide on 1 mile track. It's very kind of hard to do, but these drivers trying to push it to the limits. John Miller up in the wall is going to put them 4 wide as they come around that dog-leg area, and now heading down into turn number 1. Still 3 wide, still battle out. Kevin Foster looking to maybe get some spots here as he runs up to the outside, trying to follow Munson. But now the 61 that shoots out there while Munson goes down to the inside, trying to get as many spots as possible. Now breaking the top, back in the top 10, trying to get that spot on Van Weston.
We do have a change for the lead. It is now Davey Hendricks to the inside, getting around AJ Roderick. I don't think this thing is over just yet, though, as Alan Elwood right there, Shane Therian right there, 4 cars under a blanket, coming to 5 to go. Roderick trying his best to keep in there, but we're not done. We're going to have a green-white checkered, and unfortunately, this one's going to involve one of the fan favorites, as the 8 of Foster is spun around facing the wrong way, and a lot of damage to the front end of that 8. In fact, that left front not even moving for him right now.
Yeah, that's, I mean, obviously he can't tell in the car that that wheel's not moving, but you can see that the hood's popped up, smoke coming on that vehicle that was right there, 3 wide. And Montgomery trying to avoid the outside, ends up delivering the 8 of Kevin Foster, but that's crazy. It's not over, but here it comes down to the end. Again, a late caution, gonna bunch everybody up. Who's gonna win here tonight? Send your thoughts in the chat and let us know.
A big impact here for the 8, and he's going to continue on in this race. He's going to need a fast repair to get this thing done, because that thing was looking certainly worse for wear, but also smoking from the back. That's never a good sign, as that thing is probably not going to last too much longer. And you see him just trying to limp around here. Again, I don't know. He realizes that left front is not turned the right way. Maybe he's just trying to catch back up to the field before he comes back into pit lane here, working back around. But this is going to bring us under green, white checker conditions. It should be the first official one. I don't think it's going to be an unofficial one here, as the 8 still trying to work his way around here. He's got to work his way into the pits at some point. I can't imagine that he's going to try and stay out there, continue on, but maybe. I mean, he's up in his 16th right now. I think he's still trying to figure out where he needs to be in line, but that car is certainly not looking too well, to say the least. And I'll be surprised if it actually makes it back to the green flag here before it officially blows up. But at the front, the pass just got made on AJ Roderick, so it's going to be shuffled back to second place. Elwood, Shane Therian on that second row. Shane Therian, we'll note, wasn't here in Xfinity, but he has finally popped his powerhouse cherry, and he was a powerhouse performer last week. I believe was in the GT series, I believe. But he finally got through, and he was a powerhouse performer. Now looking to crack through and get a win here on the season, and join some of his teammates in doing so. But he's got 3 teammates up there with him that are not just going to lay over with Alan Elwood in third, AJ Roderick in second, and Davey Hendricks in third. But we're going to get this thing going here. Once again, looks like some jostling back there, getting in the right positions in the back of the pack. But Davey Hendricks is going to lead them back to the green flag, and it looks like, is this going to be, yeah, this is going to be an unofficial green, white checkered, as we're going to get the green flag here. It is 2 more laps to go here at Phoenix Raceway. Can we get it done this time by, you know, they're going to go 3, maybe 4 wide going through the track here. You see Hendricks going to the top side there to block it off here a little bit. We got some battling back here in the pack. Sideways, Van Westen into the wall, and quite a few others getting involved in this mix as well. Montgomery involved, Gainey involved. Looks like John Crane got involved as well. Blake Erickson involved in this one. So this will bring us to our first green, white checker. But let's take a look and see what exactly brought this one out. And we'll take a look at that one more time, because it was just coming out of the corner. And it was possible contact between the 61 and the 121 there, coming out of the corner against Van Westen sideways, and then out into the outside wall. And the 7 of Montgomery just didn't have any time to get down to the bottom, getting involved in that one. Skozen just watching this whole thing play out, and unfortunately does get tagged a little bit twice right there. 34 giving a little crinkle in the back end there. And then not sure what happened here at the end. Looks like Crane just losing it. Nico Garcia getting involved in there pretty heavily as well. So it wasn't Erickson. Erickson was just slowing down there to get this thing back under caution here. Once again, it's going to be now the official first green, white, and checkered here tonight at Phoenix, and we may end up using both of them the way these drivers are racing here tonight. It's a little crazy out here, and that's what can happen out here in the desert when You can kind of dive down there and you can go 3-4 wide, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, we've seen some really good racing, we've seen some really good action with it. It's just it's coming to the end now, and everybody's trying to get their positions that they feel like they deserve. They feel like they're a little faster, trying to work their way through the field. Time's ticking.
Yeah, time's ticking. Obviously, gonna wrap it up for a green-white finish here. So hopefully these drivers can find a little bit of patience what's left of this race and finish this thing strong here. Obviously, Davey Hendricks out front with Justin. Alan Elwood, AJ Rodriguez, Shane Therian and Kenny Hines for your top 5. Then Jack Stoneman, Justin Munson, Kelly Pointer, Bronson Stafford, John Nobinger for your top 10. Then you got Tyler Scholes and Dan Phelps, Joseph Thomas, Blake Erickson, Robert Kenny, Josh Van Wessen, Johnny Guinea, Nico Garcia, Kevin Foster, Lewis Abuna, Joey Cruz, Matt Crockett, Justin Kirby, Tyler Bramble, and Andrew White for your 27-car field here tonight.
It's going to be in control here on the start by Davey Hendricks, and he may have to do some battling right away and some blocking right away on his teammates, because they're going to be wanting to get up there and get in the mix. Elwood looking for his 3rd win on the season. So is AJ Roderick. Therian looking to crack into the win column. So is Davey Hendricks. He is on the loud pedal, and we're back to racing here at Phoenix. A good start from both the drivers on the front row. Hendricks is going to have just enough to slide up in front of the 5 and take away that high line, but the 5 going to dive down to the inside. Roderick trying to get back in the mix as they head to the backstretch. Hendricks a little bit of a bobble there, and it's going to give a chance to the 5 of Elwood to the inside into turn number 3. White flag in the air, side by side at the line. You call it, I couldn't tell at the line there. 0.01 seconds separating them heading into turn number 1 here. I keep calling it turn number 2 because to me it's turn number 2. That little dog leg to me is turn number 1. But now on to the backstretch. Hendricks, a good run. He's got a slight edge down the backstretch into the final turn for the final time. It's going to be side by side at the line, but Elwood digging on the bottom is going to get it done by 0.04 seconds. The 5 is your winner here in Phoenix. Hendricks in 2nd. Therian, Roderick, and Hines rounding out your top 5. What a finish. I mean, I know we had to wait. We had to go to some overtime. It took us 95 laps, but man, what a finish.
They do it every week, Carl. They always put on a decent show, and to have a finish like that, Alan Elwood doing what he does best, taking an opportunity and maybe a little better tire at that moment to get that run down at the bottom to just squeak out that win over Hendricks. Shane Therian obviously there for that P3, so congratulations to those drivers. And we'll get to talk to them here soon. But to finish up the rest of the race and a rundown of where your driver might have finished, you got AJ Roderick will be in 4th with Kenny Hines in 5th. Kelly Pointer's going to finish in 6th with Justin Munsell in 7th. Bronson Stafford in 8th. Jack Stoneman in 9th, and Tyler Skosen will be your top 10. Then you had John Nobinger, Blake Erickson, Robert Kenny, Clayton Montgomery, John Crane, Joseph Thomas, Dan Phelps, Josh Van Westen, Jeremy Gainey, Nico Garcia for your top 20. Then the rest of the field will be Joey Cruz, Kevin Foster, Louis Orduna, Matt Crockett, Justin Kirby, Tyler Bramble, and Andrew White. So 27 drivers out here partaking in a 90 lap, which turned into 95 laps with some extracurricular activities. But definitely a good one here, a good finish, and a good win for Alan Elwood.
Yeah, it was not easy, as he had to battle all the way to the line, and I mean 0.04 tells a story if you didn't see it on the screen. I mean, that was pretty fantastic finish here. Actually, I guess 0.03 according to SDK, so even closer at the line here for Alan Elwood, getting his 3rd win on the season. So the points leader extending his lead maybe a little bit more here, leaving Phoenix, but we'll get these drivers in here for their interviews here in just a moment. Want to thank our sponsor here for the series and for everything that they do here. If I can bring it up here. There we go. It is Elwood Designs. They've been making custom liveries for the iRacing community since 2012. Specializing in the NASCAR class of vehicles, they can offer designs on various other options within the service. If you're looking to make your own livery but don't have the time to make your own base design, you can purchase Elwood Designs bases at simrepmarket.com. You can find Elwood Designs online on Facebook or on X. But man, under the lights here, we seeing some beautiful cars, some beautiful action, and some maybe some tempers flaring here a little bit, as well as certainly Phoenix can do that. It's a bit of short track racing, but it happens here. But let's go ahead and bring in our finishers here for. We'll end up bringing in the top four here with AJ Roderick getting the top spot here in the silver. But we're gonna go ahead and start with our third place finisher here. If I can get this thing working here. There we go. And our third place finisher here tonight is going to be the 09 of Shane Theory. And Shane, you had the lead for quite some time early on in this race, and then just a bit of caution, maybe not falling the right way. You eventually worked your way back up to the front, but maybe just a little bit too late, and especially with those last couple cautions coming out.
Yeah, the cautions were ridiculous tonight at the end. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty disappointed. I actually had a race-winning car and figured out this track that I've been struggling on for a while and got a third place, and I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, you can hear the pain in your voice. I mean, he definitely had a fast car, if not the fastest car out here tonight. I mean, under green flag conditions, you were able to get the lead and start to check out there a little bit before the essentially the first true round of pit stops under that mid-race caution. I mean, what are the thoughts that go through your head when it comes to a race like this? You want to try and figure out how to plan your pit stops accordingly, but then when you have those two cautions really right off the bat from not even getting a green flag lap in before you have the cautions, does that kind of already change your mindset, or do you still have to play in the same way?
I mean, it's all just luck, really, with a field with like so many different skill range. So it's like it's even if I would have ran it dry there, the caution would have came out 2 laps later. So it's like it's all luck, really, and it's just kind of can the guys keep it on the track while pit stops go through? Can I get through pit stops and maybe get a yellow immediately after, so my tires aren't super worn? Honestly, you can't plan for it. It's really all luck based at tracks like this too.
I mean, it's kind of a bit of an up and down season for you so far, but I mean, a third place here is got to feel good. You at least survived a little bit of the chaos here tonight, and you at least get yourself on the podium. Even though I know, and like I said, I can hear the pain in your voice. You know what was out there for you here tonight, but at the very least, you got to feel happy that you survived and got a podium here tonight.
Yeah, especially because I didn't race last week, and then I crashed both at Daytona and Atlanta. So I got both a 32nd and a 34th place finish last 2 races I ran, something like that, or 20 something. So yeah, I needed a good run desperately. So last good finish was Iowa. So yeah, I mean, I'll take it. I just want another win. I only got one.
Well, we head out. We stay in the desert, but we head out to Vegas next week. Thoughts on Vegas? Certainly, it's a fast 1.5 mile high bank track out there.
Isn't that where I won last season? I can't remember.
I believe it was actually, yes. Yep. So obviously, it's got to feel like good vibes, especially
Yeah.
after the run that you had here tonight. I know it didn't capitalize on the win here, but I mean, you had potentially a race-winning car here, so it's got to feel good heading back to a track where you have some success.
Yeah, definitely. So I think I'll have to run some laps here this week and see if I can remember how to run there. It's been a little bit. So.
All right, buddy. Well, once again, congrats on the third place finish here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Can I just give a shout out to my team? We all raced each other very cleanly and hard. It was fun. Then you guys for broadcasting.
All right, buddy. Well, we will let you get out of here, celebrate with the team, and we'll see you next week out in Vegas.
All right, see you later.
For third place finisher here tonight, the 09 of Shane Therian. Second place tonight, Jimmy, is going to be the 67 of Davey Hendricks.
Hey, Davey, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
I do.
Hey, you had a very interesting race here tonight. Find yourself battling for the lead and looking for that win, but just fall just a little bit short as Alan Elwood was able to squeak by you by 0.03. So kind of give us a little rundown of how your race was. We know it was action packed out there, and battling with obviously the different skill levels of drivers that are out there. But tonight you do come home in second, so you gotta be happy with that. So just like I said, just give us a rundown on how everything went for you.
Yeah, overall it was a pretty good race. Started out rocky. That first caution tore something, and I had to use my fast repair a lot earlier than I really wanted to. And then it was just avoiding as much as I could. Thankfully, we had some green flag runs, and I did pretty decent with longer runs than I did shorter runs. So I was able to pick my way up front. There was that one caution in the dead middle of the race that caught a lot of people on lap down, and I again lucked out that I just happened to be on pit road when it hit, so I didn't lose a lap or anything. Didn't have to take a wave around because I know that messed up a lot of fast people. But I'm thankful to come home second. That's a good finish.
Yeah, great finish, great showing, and it was fun to watch you out there doing your thing. So, like I said, we wanted to say congratulations on that second place finish, and we'll give you some time for any shouts you may have in a number 67.
Appreciate it. Got to thank Simrat Market for being on my car. I appreciate them sponsoring Elwood Designs. Thank Alan again for the paint. He does so many, and he's so good at it. So thanks to him for giving me the paint. VRS for coming on and sponsoring the team as well. RRD for being on the car. All my teammates, you guys up in the booth, and I think that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for the shout out and everybody else, and look forward to seeing you hopefully up here next week. So we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Appreciate it.
That is your second place finisher here tonight. The 67 of Davey Hendricks. Top performer here tonight is going to be the 5 of Alan Elwood. Alan, you kind of were hanging up there in the beginning in the top 4 for that entire first run. Wasn't really showing maybe all the cards that you had, but you had the tires at the end, and that really paid off, getting to the inside of Davey Hendricks and squeaking out a victory here tonight.
Yeah, weird race. Like, there wasn't really a lot of flow to it necessarily. It was hard to say like what to do exactly. Shane kind of had the right idea in the beginning. He had good long run speed, like we were just talking about. He had good long run speed, and I was trying to back off, let him and Nico get up a little bit farther, and then see if maybe the clean air, like if I build myself a buffer, get some clean air and save my tires, that I'd be able to eventually catch those guys. But once I got to Nico, Nico's really fast. We all know that, and I was trying to pass him on the inside, and it's just really difficult, especially 1 and 2, to keep that low line with it being flat. It's really difficult to try to pass somebody there, so you got to really hope that 3 and 4 kind of works out, and then you can dive onto the dog leg. And I just didn't quite have enough pace there with the worn out tires. And then, of course, naturally, the caution there in the middle of the race comes out at the worst time to put me all the way in the back. So I was like, well, I'm super close on making it on fuel here with one more stop. So I tried to save, and I was like almost right on the money as far as making it to the end. And sure enough, then the caution comes out again. So we pit, and then I thought for sure I wasn't even going to make top 10. I was going to be close, just where I was. And then stuff falls your way, you get lucky, and got myself back up there in contention. And then those restarts there at the end, positioning kind of worked out where everything fell. And to be honest, I think I only led the one lap, so I kind of got lucky. It's not the way that you want to be a little more dominant in these types of things when you win, not kind of luck into this type of stuff, but I guess you got to be lucky sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean, you had to move at the right time right there at the end. I mean, green, white checkers at any track are tough, especially when you're not the control car. You start on the outside, and, arguably the outside was the better position to be in. But, Hendricks just barely cleared you going into the turn number 1 there and got to that outside and seemed like he had the better runs, as you were saying, just getting to that inside and making that pass. It seemed like it was tough, but I mean, do you think it was just maybe a little bobble from the 67 that got it done here for you? Do you think it was you just maybe saving your tires a little bit more to get that extra rotation in the final corner?
Yeah, he said that maybe shifting down into third gear is what hurt him. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't quite see what happened to him up there, but he kind of thought that was his detriment. Otherwise, I mean, he held really strong up there, and I feel bad as a teammate. Davey hasn't won the season, and that was his prime chance right there. As ever, he's had this season to get one. But we talked about it beforehand, and we all respect each other as teammates and expect everybody to give 100%. So I went for it and got it. But yeah, I mean, I fully expected him to come off turn 4 and nudge ahead and get that run off, and he wasn't quite there, and I was really shocked. But he held a really good line there, and I thought for sure he was going to have it.
I mean, I'd say dick move, but legally bounded by the sponsorship agreement. That I have to say good move by you there at the end. Well, you get your third win on the season, first 3-time winner on the season, and it's been a pretty tight knit group there up at the top, let alone in the platinum. But even just for a win, I mean, it's still kind of early in the season, only race number 9 here, so I guess you can look at it and say you won a third of the season so far, but it hasn't exactly come easy. And just like tonight, this is kind of be an example of how the season's been for you and for all the guys up the front.
Yeah, and again, it's like tonight, your cards have to kind of fall the right way at times. You may be the fastest certain races, and the circumstances just dictate how the race is going to end, and sometimes you just fall behind the 8 ball or what have you, and things don't quite work out. So when you get these opportunities, you want to try to make the most out of them and get them when you can, because you don't know when that next losing streak's coming and how long it's going to be and whatever. Of course, you can't win them all. And but we as a team there at the end of the race, when there was like 4 of us battling, we had a hell of a fun time. Like, that was so good. We were sad that the caution came out to end it because we were having a heck of a time. But I knew coming in with the amount of teammates that I had, coming into the season, that we could put on that sort of show for everybody watching and make it a good race. And then you don't know who's going to come out on top. So just a great race there at the end. Hate the cautions and all that stuff, but it was fun nonetheless.
I think it seemed like you had a little bit more of a chip on your shoulders, and you want to make sure AJ wasn't taking all your thunder on the team.
I mean, I tell you, I even changed his paint scheme to knock off that 3-peat. So just saying, he'll go back to the great clips next week, I'm sure.
Again, I'd say another dick move, but legally I'd say I think that was the right move. So either way,
I appreciate that.
Either way, congrats on the win here tonight. Before we let you go, who you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Just first off the team, Davey, Shane, Nico, Clayton, AJ, everybody tonight. Hate it for Clayton and Nico. I think we all could have been up there at the end. Just some unfortunate circumstances, but everybody had a really good showing. Simrat Market, VRS, Roderick Racing Development, you guys up here in the booth, everybody watching at home, online, and everybody here in the league. Again, kind of a okay race, but I think there was some times in here tonight where it was a lot of fun, and appreciate everybody showing up.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on your third win on the season. We'll see if you can get number 4 out in Vegas next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That is your winner here tonight, the 5 of Alan Elwood. Jimmy, we got one more that we're going to bring into the booth here. He didn't get his third win on the season, but the caution-filled race let him come into the pits for free here. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our 4th place finisher here, AJ Roderick.
Hey, AJ, it's Jimmy Carl up in the booth, Cappy.
Yeah, how's it going?
I don't know if letting you up here is a freebie. I mean, tonight out there was and to find yourself in a spot to possibly win, you find yourself leading there for a little bit. And, possibly try to get that third win, somehow try to be the back-to-back-to-back guy, but you skipped Coda last week. So I guess that's what you get, and you get a 4th place finish. But
well, let me say, I've never wanted to wreck my teammates more than I have tonight.
But either way, I mean, you did get a great finish here, and obviously a great showing there for the 56. So just want to say congratulations. And obviously, I'm going to give you some time to kind of explain how your race went.
I I did not have high hopes going in the night. I was like, well, I said we're away from my plate racing, which is the only tracks I'm normally good at. And in practice, watching the times they were putting down, I was like, oh my god, I'm like 4/10 off. I'm like, there's no way tonight's going to go well for me. And you know what it was? It was the fact that I didn't have to make a green flag pit stop.
We said that.
Yep. And you know what? We got lucky with the way that caution came out. You know, I took damage early. Was it like one of the early accidents? I got rear-ended and had to fix like a minute of damage. And since I topped off on fuel, I could go like another like 8 laps longer than everybody else. And you know, realistically, I got lucky with that one.
A little bit of luck's been going your way. So, I mean, obviously getting these good finishes, no green flag pit stops. So what's your thoughts on the remaining races and maybe the chances of running down your, some of the other teammates?
I hope this trend continues. I hope this trend continues because it seems to be working. No, I mean, we're going to be heading to some tracks here that I'm probably going to find myself struggling with, mainly because I'm not very good at tire saving, and there's a couple tracks coming up that I think are going to be kind of crucial to making sure you're not burning off the right front. So we'll have to see. You know, I usually don't expect to run with these guys, and I found myself in that position tonight. So I'm pretty fortunate just to be in the right place at the right time to be able to battle with them.
Yeah, I mean, you might be finding yourself in the right spot, right time, but it's just showing that you do have the talent to be up there. So don't sell yourself short. We like talking to you up here in the booth, and so we're going to give you say congratulations on a good finish here tonight, being the top silver driver. I'm sure you won't be there much longer, but give you some time for any shout outs you may have in that 56.
Like to take a shout out to Simrat Market VRS, Elwood Designs. You know, the car looks fantastic. Alan made me this new paint, and I was kind of skeptical at first because we've had such a good run with the Great Clips car. So I really didn't want to switch, and I was kind of like, yeah, I'm like, let's just try it out at Phoenix, and if it goes bad, I can just blame the paint like I normally do. But no, the car looks great. So thank you to Alan and Simrat Market for making such a good paint, and VRS for jumping on board, and obviously the rest of the teammates who were I think as surprised as I was to see me up front towards the end, and thank you guys here for broadcasting for us. It's been great.
No, we really appreciate the shout outs and obviously the great show that you put on out there. So again, congratulations on the great finish, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right, thank you.
That is your 4th place finisher here tonight, top finishing silver division driver, at least for now. I think he could be moving up to gold here before you know it, and be the first time that we've had 2 different drivers jump up divisions by how good they've done and how good their finishes have been. But it's AJ Ryder coming home in 4th place tonight. Had a chance at getting his 3rd win on the night, but his other teammates had other ideas for him, whether he wanted them to or not. And it sounds like he would have used that freshly painted chrome bumper if he could have, if he had a chance to get up there. But it was a fun one. It was an interesting one out here tonight in the desert in Phoenix, and certainly we've seen the 3, 4, and got close to 5 wide a couple times. Certainly mixed it up here quite a bit with some of the cautions, but in the end, we've seen a battle back to the line. That ended up in a 0.31 second win for our winner here tonight, Alan Elwood. I want to thank everybody out there once again. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that Sirena has to offer. But we go to Vegas next week. Hopefully you join us out there. We'll save you a seat at the craps table. But for myself and Jimmy at CRN and Phoenix Raceway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.